Fleeing communism, my father's German Dutch Mennonite family immigrated from Russian-occupied southern Ukraine in 1922. He was 11, Uncle Martin was 10 with three younger sisters. My youngest uncle, Arthur, was born in Newport, Washington in 1925. During World War II, Arthur enlisted 2 weeks after his 18th birthday. He was killed when his B-17 went down. My 30-year-old father tried to enlist but was 4F. Fired from his defense industry job due to his lineage, my Uncle Martin enlisted. Martin earned a Bronze Star near Bastogne when he single-handedly took out a machine gun nest using just his carbine. My mother's family arrived before the American Revolution and has fought in every war since. All 5 maternal uncles served in the military between late World War II and early Vietnam. My oldest brother and I both served. My only son did 2 tours in Iraq as a Black Hawk crew chief. November 9, 1959 in Subic Bay, a suspected arson fire broke out in the pump room of the USS Midway. My brother was in the ship's bowels, fighting the fire, helping to keep the ship from sinking. Our story is not exceptional. We are not special. In fact, we were the norm until recent decades. Today's youth need teddy bears and safe spaces on campus if someone uses the wrong pronoun or laughs at their idiotic man bun. When I was in grade school, we did duck and cover drills under our desks. Khrushchev had one hand on the button while banging his shoe on the UN podium with the other. Kennedy had one hand on the button while supervising the blockade of Russian nuclear missiles in Cuba. Every town had the man with no legs, propelling his plywood platform on casters around with his knuckles, selling papier-mâché poppies and No. 2 pencils with flags attached. As I was a child, I remember buying them with money I earned picking berries for local farms. I grew up surrounded by rough-talking women who were Rosie the Riveters in their youth. Today's young women thinking taking pictures of their naked butt in the bathroom mirror while making duck lips and posting it on the web is making a contribution to society. I recently vacationed in the Black Hills, checking out the history, monuments, and natural wonders. I was disappointed by the crass commercialization and access pass prices rivaling the cost of a tank of fuel for the pickup. You'd think by the merchandise on the shelves, the only thing of importance to have happened in the area was the annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. On the way home, I saw a small sign stating the South Dakota National Cemetery was the next exit. Making a bonsai charge across the lanes of traffic, I followed the signs to the cemetery. After spending days walking amongst shelves of glitter and blossom cheesy tchotchkes, loudly espousing shallow messaging, I now found myself standing in a simple, solemn place that softly whispered a profound truth. I strolled about reading markers from World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and a news section from the Middle East. Amplifying the emotional impact of the area was the realization that these were markers of only those lucky enough for their remains to have made it home. Many more were interred on ocean floors or military cemeteries all over the world. The second realization was these markers represented only service members from relatively sparsely populated South Dakota. My thoughts moved to how politicians claim that they are dedicating their lives to public service. There are others who think that advocating for their special interests, union, ethnicity, agenda, or cause célèbre somehow qualifies as a sacrifice for the country. Recently, there are those who claim their lives matter. Other groups claim that all lives matter. The stones surrounding me mark the location of individuals who died believing that everyone else's life mattered more than their own. People think that they are owed the rights and freedoms of this country. They are not. Those privileges were bestowed by the sacrifices made by those buried about me. Another misstatement is that our country's freedoms have been paid for by the sacrifices of veterans. That is false. Our country is mortgaged. Those who have gone before us have only made the down payment in initial installments. Our present military is keeping the payments current. The world is filled with evil. The day our country decides that a sound military defense is no longer necessary is the day the repossession process will begin for our country. The next time you are deluding yourself, the work you are doing to further your agenda, your personal wealth, or your political beliefs will somehow satisfy your obligations to the nation, stop. What have you really done for your country?